Hello lovely people, welcome to the Geek Cupboard. I'm Penge and welcome to day 16 of the Geek Cupboard's Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown 2022. So here we are back again with the wonderful Wiggly Tea Advent Calendar. Let's open it up and find Gigantic Tea Door 16. Where are you, Gigantic Tea Door 16? You're over here. Okay, right, hang on a second. Let me kind of fold that round a bit. So the little goal thing says ride a bike instead. I mean, instead of what? I'm not entirely sure. I assume it means instead of going in a car somewhere. I mean, normally that would, maybe be a possibility. Going on a bike is okay. I have a bike. The children have bikes. We sometimes go out on bikes together and it's all fun. But not normally in the winter. I think we don't normally go out in the winter on bikes. I mean, right now, it's quite cold out there and it's, there's snow. There's lots of snow and ice everywhere. So I think if I were to go out on a bike right now, nip to the shop on a bike rather than going in the car, I might well do myself an injury. I'd fall off and I'd be hurt. So this might be one that we have to kind of park until the weather's a little better, I'm afraid, Advent Calendar. I don't think we can do that one because that's just going to be risky. I mean, by the time I finish work as well, it's dark. It's normally quite dark, so I don't want to go out on my bike in the dark, in the cold, in the snow, on the ice, because that's just going to lead to all sorts of bad things. So at some point, we will go on a bike ride somewhere, Advent Calendar, but it might just be a while. It might be, sort of springtime by the time that happens again. So, okay, I like it though. I like the message. Maybe instead of just getting in the car on a short trip, go on a bike. Just go on a bike if you need to go somewhere quick. Take a backpack if you're going to the shop to put some stuff in, rather than driving your car and getting a small bag and putting it in the car or whatever. I like the message and I like the idea of this. The practicality of it is not quite there at the moment, Advent Calendar. But it's okay. I like the message. So thank you very much for putting the idea into people's minds. And maybe you might be able to do this if you're somewhere where it's warm right now. If you're in the southern hemisphere or whatever, if you're a bit warmer, maybe you could do that. Instead of taking, the car for a quick, 2-minute drive to the shop or whatever, you could get on a bike and do that instead. So there you go. It's not for us right now though. So let's open up the Gigantic Tea Door, which does involve, ripping this guy's head in half. Sorry, cycling guy. Right, here we go. So we have ourselves a very lovely kind of green packet to this. Brew something today that your future self will thank you for. I mean, that's just every cup of tea. My future self is very grateful indeed for whenever my past self makes tea. So, okay, flavoured green tea in a bag. Let's see what we have in store today. Gorgeous geisha, I think that's pronounced, isn't it? Smooth, sweet and so creamy. Okay, a creamy green tea. Sencha green tea combined with the luscious flavours of strawberries and cream is delicious hot or ice is a summer treat. This geisha's got a hold on us. Okay, right. So, I mean, given that this is an advent calendar and we're in the northern hemisphere, it's not really summery at the moment. It's quite cold out. There's lots of snow. So we're going to have this hot. What's it got in it? Green tea, natural and artificial flavouring, 4.3% strawberry, yoghurt and cream, and freeze-dried strawberries. Okay, fascinating. There you go. A green tea, which is going to taste a bit like strawberries and cream. Like I'm at Wimbledon or something. Okay, right. This sounds very intriguing indeed. I'm looking forward to this one because I'm thinking either it's going to be completely brilliant and it's going to be amazing and I'm going to taste it and think, wow, this is amazing. What a wonderful tea. Or it's going to be a bit of a disaster. I don't think there can be middle ground with this one. I can't imagine going, well, it's okay. It tastes a little bit of strawberries and cream. It's either going to not taste of it at all, or it's going to be really good. So here we go. We have to go and find out, of course. And to do that, we need to go to the kettle. And here we are with our lovely freshly brewed cup of gorgeous geisha tea. And to look at it, it looks like a green tea, doesn't it? Because it is a green tea. There's nothing exceptional with the appearance. I mean, you might look at it and think it looks more like a herbal tea, but I think green teas are a little bit more cloudy in their appearance than a herbal tea. And it's got that kind of cloudiness to it. So yeah, it's a green tea, nothing spectacular going on there. However, it does smell very good. It smells very, very strongly of strawberries and cream, which is quite surprising. I didn't think it would smell quite as strong as it does. I mean, when I took the tea bag out of the little wrapper packet thing, it smelled very, very strong indeed. It's a good smell. It's a nice smell. I mean, from down here, I can smell it a bit. It smells a bit of strawberries and cream, but bring it up here, and it smells very much of strawberries and cream. It smells of, I don't know if you had these in your part of the world, it smells of little strawberries and cream sweets. So a little kind of round sweets or candies, whatever you want to call them. So little kind of round things. And they had a sort of impression in the top of them, so it kind of pushed down in the middle, and then they had sort of like a red and white spirally colour to them, and they were strawberries and cream flavoured. It smells like those. It smells like sweets I haven't had for a long time, but yeah, it does smell of sweets, or candy, if you want to call it that, which is quite interesting. So here we go, let's have a taste of this and see if it tastes of strawberries and cream. Okay, yes it does. It does taste of strawberries and cream. It tastes like how it smells, I think. That's interesting. Okay, hang on, I need to go in for another taste of that. I need to have another taste. Okay, so the taste isn't quite as strong as the smell. So it smells very strongly of strawberries and cream. It doesn't taste quite as strong as that. But yeah, that's sometimes how these things work. Yeah, it's got a nice smell to it and the taste is okay. You can definitely taste strawberries and cream, but it's just not quite as strong as I was expecting it to be, given the smell is quite as strong. But that's nice. I like that. It works quite well. Hang on, what else does it have in it? Remind me, little packet. It's over here. So just the green tea. Oh, and that's kind of it. And then freeze-dried strawberries. I mean, you can sort of, taste the strawberries in it. You know there's strawberries in it. There's definitely a strawberry lovely sort of taste to that. But, I mean, yeah, mostly it does just taste... It tastes like the sweets, like the candy sort of things. It's quite nice. I like that. That surprised me. When I said it's going to be the brilliant or terrible, I was kind of thinking it was going to be more going toward the terrible side of things. But no, that's actually quite good. I like that. And it's quite a nice green tea as well. But yeah, it's quite a sweet green tea. It's quite sweet on account of, I assume, the flavourings I've got in there and the strawberries and everything else. So, yeah, I like that. That's quite good. So, with some lovely strawberries and cream tea, let's go over to today's question. And today's question comes from Vosseros, a long-standing friend of the channel. Hello, Voss. So they say, if you were a superhero, what would your powers be? What would your superhero name be? And would you wear your underpants on the inside or outside of your costume? Okay, we'll deal with those in order, shall we? Now, in terms of what powers I'd have, I often talk about this with the boy because, he's a 10-year-old boy and he likes superhero stuff and the Avengers and all that kind of stuff and Batman and what have you. So we often chat about what powers we'd have. And it comes up quite a lot, and we'll often sort of speak about whether it's best to, have all of them at the same time. So, would you be some sort of super person? So, super strength and invincibility and flying and laser eyes and teleporting and the lot of it. Would you rather have all that kind of stuff? Or would you rather have something a bit more kind of specific to single you out? Because if you did have all of them, you'd be a little bit possibly too overpowered. I mean, if you've seen The Boys, if anyone's watched The Boys on Amazon, the TV show, it's really good. It's completely insane and very brutal and gory and bloody and ridiculous, but it's very good. But there's a character in The Boys called Homelander, and he's like a sort of he's a bit like that. He's kind of invincible and super strong, and he can fly, and he's got laser eyes, and he can do all the kind of stuff. But he's not very nice. He's not a very nice person, and the show is sort of about how they deal with him, because of course he's this super person who no one can hurt, and he can do what he likes because nobody can stop him. And it's kind of, who watches the Watchmen, as it were. He's supposed to be this hero, but he's not. He's not a very nice person. So there'd be quite a risk of, if you had all those powers, abusing them. So I think what we normally say is that we can't pick everything. We can sort of whittle it down. So I'll pick one power rather than picking many powers, for the sake of this. Because otherwise you could just go, well, I want all the powers. I'm going to be the superiest of all the superheroes. I mean, teleporting. Teleporting would be really good, wouldn't it? That'd be really handy. Think of the holidays. Think of the travel you could do. Just go, I need to go to, I really fancy going to, I don't know, a beach in Brazil. And I could just go, thump, and then go, here I am on a beach in Brazil. Amazing. And then go, oh no, I forgot my wallet. Thump. There it is. Thump. Back again on the beach. It'd be amazing. It'd be so good. That would be fabulous. And then you do get into questions about this, about sort of superhero powers. I mean, where does it stop? Does it just teleport me and my person? So when I teleport, do I appear with clothes? If I'm holding a bag, do I appear with a bag? Or if I'm holding a person, do I appear with another human being? Do they appear with their bag and their clothes? Or if I'm leaning against a building and I teleport, do I teleport the building? I don't know. Where does it stop? So, we're just going to say that I can teleport and stuff I'm holding and people that I'm kind of, I don't know, grabbing or hugging or whatever can come with me. So that'd be really good. Teleporting would be up there. I think that'd be really handy. And then also, I mean, we discuss this sometimes, me and the boy, about the ability to sort of produce stuff like a Star Trek replicator. Just being able to sort of produce stuff. So food, for example, you could just sort of go, oh no, there's a load of starving people over here. And you could just go and just make food appear. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Or thirsty people. You could go to, say, a river that's dried up or a lake that's dried up somewhere. And these people are reliant on this. And you could just fill it with water and they could have their lives back. And you're not kind of intruding too much in their existence. You're not changing them from what they are. You're not sort of going, right, okay, you people in this part of the world, maybe, you don't live in massive, big, fancy apartment buildings with, full of all the trappings and goodies and everything else that's, wonderful. But maybe, you're very happy with your lives. You've got wonderful stuff going on. You've got your families and your friends and you're living a good life. But you're struggling at the minute because there's no water in this lake. Hang on a minute, I'll just, there you go, water in the lake. You can all carry on. I've helped out. I'm not changing them. I'm not sort of going, right, you need a big house with all the fancy stuff in it. You need all this. I'm just sort of, making sure they're okay. That'd be quite good. And you could make stuff. I mean, you could go to a place which has been, ravaged by an earthquake or whatever. And you could make homes appear or hospitals or whatever. That would be good, wouldn't it? That'd be quite a good power. But one I think that always sort of comes to mind, as it were, when I think about this, and it always kind of comes back, and I think that would be good though, would be mind control. Not exactly direct mind control. So I wouldn't want to be able to, go to a person and then go, right, you're going to put, stand on one leg and jump around and hop and, cluck like a chicken. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have like sort of hypnosis powers. I want to be able to sort of suggest things to people, because that would be good, wouldn't it? Just make somebody think differently. Imagine the good you could do with that. You could go to all sorts of terrible people. So let's say there's a really bad guy. I don't know, let's say a drug dealer. And they're really evil. And they're going around and they're doing lots of killing and lots of murder and dealing drugs. And that in itself is causing all sorts of other bad things to happen. It's all terrible. But you could use your suggestion powers to, find the person at the bottom of the rung, if you like, the person at the bottom of this kind of chain, and use your suggestion powers to go up and go, you're not going to hurt me. And also, can you just take me to your boss person? And then eventually you'd work your way up and up and up, get to the top. And then this person, you could go, I think you should possibly stop all this, quit this, cancel, just destroy your empire, dismantle it, give everything into, the police or the feds or whatever. And don't do it again. And tell everybody else that you meet that it was a terrible idea and that you were wrong. And maybe you shouldn't do this. And then that person would then do that of their own kind of accord. They would do it themselves. I think that'd be amazing. You could do so much good with that. And you could keep yourself safe from said bad people by saying, you're not going to hurt me. And then they're just not going to kill you or whatever. Because I suppose they could just go, I don't like you very much. Boom. So I think I like that. That would be good as well. But I think they're always the three that sort of come back. But the mind control thing, or power of suggestion, I suppose we should say, is one that I always do kind of come back to when I'm talking to the boy about it. I do sort of think, it'd be so useful, even just in small situations, not even something big like that. If somebody was just being, I don't know, a bit mean to somebody, you could just say, don't be mean to them. Think about how you're acting, please, and look at yourself a bit and look objectively. Aren't you being a wally? And then in their head, they kind of think, oh no, well, why am I acting like this? I'm being a bit of a wally. And again, with great power comes great responsibility. You could abuse that quite a bit. But I think if you used it correctly and you used it on the right people, you could solve all sorts of difficult situations around the world. And there's some, I'm not going to name drop some of them, but there are some which you could sort out. You could certainly make things a lot better around the world if you could just make people think a bit differently, maybe see things from a different perspective and just, act a bit differently. You could do some wonderful stuff. So, it would either be a sort of a teleporty power, an ability to produce things power, which is that what Green Lantern does, that Green Lantern-y, or kind of like a mind control-y, suggestion-y sort of a power. It'd be those, I think. I won't go for the, the invincibility and the flying and the laser face and all that kind of stuff, I'd go for one of the other ones. Now, in terms of what would your superhero name be, I don't really know. I think I'd keep it simple. Something like, even as basic as Mr. Penge. That'd be okay, wouldn't it? Or, I don't know, something, I mean, we could link it to tea, given that I have some tea. I'm going to have some tea now. Oh, lovely, and tastes like sweets. I mean, you could have, and like the tea drinker. That'd be quite good, because that's, because the sort of easy way out is to just go, the tea man, the teapot man, just stick man at the end of it and it becomes a superhero, doesn't it? But I think, we could have, like the tea drinker or something like that. What about Captain Teapot? Captain Teapot, rather than Captain America, Captain Teapot. I quite like that. Oh no, there's a terrible bad guy. Who could possibly come and save us? Worry not, citizens. Captain Teapot is here. I like that. We'd probably go for Captain Teapot. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. My superhero name is going to be Captain Teapot, unless I'm going undercover. And then I'll just be Mr. Penge. There we go. I like that. Captain Teapot is with a giant teapot show. No, that's more Captain America. I'm not going for that kind of showy-offy powers. I'm going for the more subtle powers. And then would you wear your underpants on the inside or the outside of your costume? I mean, I'm tempted to say the outside. But then if I'm trying to do sort of subtle mind control-y stuff to influence people and make the world a better place by making people stop being so terrible, then possibly wearing my underpants on the outside might make me a little bit conspicuous. Although I could just say in their minds, just go, wearing your underpants on the outside of your clothes is fine. You have no problems with this. It's absolutely ordinary. And they go, do you know what? Wearing underpants on the outside of your clothes is absolutely ordinary, and I'm fine with this. So I've just thought that's a bit like the Force. That's a bit like a Jedi mind trick, isn't it? In a way. That's kind of what I've just sort of, that's my mind control power there. But it's a little bit more sort of in depth than that possibly. But there you go. So I think, I'd wear them, if I had the teleporty power or the ability to produce stuff at will power, probably have my pants on the outside. Really fancy, exciting Geek Cupboard corporate colour pair of pants. But then, if I was doing the mind control-y sort of influency thing, possibly wear them on the inside just because it might look a little bit obvious that I'm coming to cause problems. So, there we go. I like that. See, again, I like the range of questions we have on the Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown. Sometimes they're quite specific about, games or hardware or whatever. And sometimes they're these kind of wonderful kind of, sort of hypothetical things where we just get to, sort of stretch our imagination a bit and just have a bit of a laugh with stuff. So there we go. Hopefully that was a very good answer to that question and you had some fun with it. And maybe you can go and discuss superhero powers with people that you might live with or whatever. Go and have a chat about your own superhero powers and see what kind of superhero you would be. But there we go. We've answered the question. I've got some lovely tea. We will wrap things up for the moment. So for now, thank you very much for joining me on day 16 of the Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown 2022, and I'll see you next time. I just want to point out the danger of blasting fire into the face of somebody who has not got any kind of headgear on. Let's suppress the pants off that thing. I always knew hiding on a park bench would be no good. Oh no, it's a terrifying disc thing. The aliens shoot him with such force that he loses his hair, which is just ridiculous.